Yes, so I am here because I'm very concerned for this family.
I'm here for the Rivera case. It has nothing to do with the Riveras. In my mind, I don't know them. It's about justice. It's about the ridiculousness of somebody having to go to jail and on $20,000 bail for kidnapping their own children.
So this pediatrician apparently reported them. They ended up having to flee the state to go to Texas. They were hunted down like criminals. Their family was ripped apart. The kids were taken away. The parents were ripped apart. And now here we are at the courthouse.
For the state to chase them down into another state and extradite them back here to be persecuted for their individual beliefs in God and the constitutional rights of their freedom is absolutely absurd.
They felt that their rights were being taken from them as parents. And then they're like abruptly arrested in Texas. They thought they were going to almost a safe haven at the time.
I'm here to support the Rivera family. Obviously very good parents. They stood for their children's health and safety, as they should as parents, and they've been attacked legally by this tyrannical government. This is no longer America.
This case represents every parent, every child, every grandparent.
The only thing that they did that was supposedly wrong was go and take their baby to the pediatrician and have the pediatrician report them because they chose not to get a certain vaccine.
Still religious exemptions when it comes to vaccines. They homeschool their kids. That's still legal, isn't it?
I think it's terrifying. I'm absolutely appalled that this family got ripped apart. They have 5 children. They seem like a great family from everything that I've heard and seen.
Where's Mama? Where's Mama?
I support Mr. Rivera because I think that the Commonwealth is completely out of control and trying to somehow control his family. And chasing him down when he moved to Texas, I find horrific.
And that's how powerful the federal government is that they think they can just go about and just abscond people at gunpoint in the middle of the night. This is happening.
I'm against government abuse, and I think that's what they're doing to him.
Now, the whole thing with health freedom, with your, parental rights, I just feel is being undermined here.
And I saw this case, and I saw this family being torn apart. And I just have to stand up and say no more.
I hope the judge sees the light, sees the Constitution, and says this is a travesty of justice. It was cruel and unnecessary. How it ever got to this point is such a shocker, and I hope she throws the whole case out and publicly reprimands the government agencies, DCF, and the police who followed through, because it's up to police now to say, I'm not going to carry out this illegal order. And too many cops say, I gotta protect, I have health care for my kids. Your kids aren't safe because you are doing their bidding.
I believe that they are victims of a tyrannical government, and I feel that there needs to be justice served against these public servants that are abusing their positions of public office.
I'm here to support the family because I think that no one should dictate, that your children need to be shot up with vaccines, especially when they're healthy.
Just to support the Rivera family for justice and the American way, the Constitution.
Parental rights need to be respected and honored above all right now.
That is a choice in this country right now, that you do not have to vaccinate your children. So it's very disappointing, all of it.
It's just unconscionable that our government is doing the things that they're doing.
We should dismiss this case. There's no criminal action here. We are talking healthy children and healthy, mentally stable adults. It's all BS.
The fact that they arrested them at gunpoint and put them in prison with ridiculously high bail and then tore their family apart It doesn't even seem like they're trying to help this family. No one is benefiting. And those kids, I can't even imagine how they must feel to see their parents taken away in handcuffs in front of them at gunpoint, and to not be with the parents.
They have not violated any laws. So why did this happen? Why does the government think that they have the right to take the children?
I listened to the court hearing, and the judge even said there was nothing criminal in his records. So it doesn't make sense.
The man is not a criminal, and this needs to be resolved.
It should be dismissed. They should get their kids back. They haven't done anything wrong.
This case represents every parent, every grandparent, every child, our personal beliefs.
It's disturbing.
Well, I was surprised that we really had no forward action.
Look, nobody's really thinking about the children. They're just thinking about getting this case through.
The family is not reunited, and the husband still is not supposed to talk to the wife, and the children are still stuck with, thank goodness, one of the grandparents.
It's heartbreaking.
Sorry, but last I knew, parents should be the ones in charge of their children's health care, not the government.
The government's trying to use this family to scare other families to consent to this garbage. I don't call it anything short of garbage.
They treat people like insects. We don't fall in line, they do this. And everybody watch and learn.
And the state shouldn't be able to come in with no due process. No due process.
There's no due process here.
Yes, Judge. What are we looking to do with these matters?
We're asking for July 17th, please, for compliance and also anticipated hearing on the 3G motion.
Tom, will that work for you?
It does, Your Honor.
Compliance and 3G motion, both matters. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Counsel will look for that. Yes, Judge.
See any justification for the parents. They didn't even get to speak. What if they had questions? Nobody asked them anything. You know, and this case is extremely important.
Izzy Rivera was given a court date. That's it. Nothing else, nothing resolved. He still cannot see his wife.
It's just unconscionable that our government is doing the things that they're doing.
I have grandchildren. I don't believe that the government should dictate whether we vaccinate our children or not.
It's just so wrong.
We just wasted 4 hours in the courthouse to find out that he has a court date for July 17th. This is a colossal waste of time for everybody, and even the state itself.
In my opinion, this should be automatically dismissed like that. But instead, what are they doing? They're just prolonging it. Now they've rescheduled for July. So now I'll be back here in July supporting this family. It's just crazy.
Yes, Izzy's free, but to separate a husband and a wife from the kids is ridiculous over something that is not a criminal case at all.
I think it should be dismissed, and then there's other things that should happen that I'm not going to say.
It's just insane to me, and I really think more people need to pay attention and start speaking up, standing up for medical freedom, parental rights, God-given human rights. This is insane.
Where'd she go? God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you for your support.
Absolutely.
This is my first day of jail, so I was like,
So they do have a code of honor in matters.
And children.
Women and children. They have a right to exercise their skills.
I think it's very unfair for DCF to get involved and take the kids away from their parents.
And isn't that what DCF is supposed to do? It's supposed to try to help families. They're not helping this family. They're tearing them apart. They're pitting them against each other. And they're using what seems like every trick in the book to keep these children away from their parents and keep these parents away from each other. I don't know how to see it any other way. It's extreme.
Imagine not just having your kids ripped away, but being a little child and being torn away from your parents.
I know families that can see their children 1 hour a week, and they are not allowed to bring any phone, any communication device, an iPad. They can't record their child, and they can't even sometimes bring pictures of life before they were in DCF.
DCF attacked this family, and I am a victim of childhood domestic violence because of the foster care system. I am a victim of the same kind of crap.
Oh, they're traumatized for the rest of their lives. You don't get over something like that. They've taken away these kids' feelings of being safe, and that's one of the parents' main job, is to make sure your kids feel safe and there's a safe place to go to and parents are safe. And to be ripped away from the parents, and the parents can't do anything because it's force. They've messed up those kids for life.
That's why I'm in complete shock.
After talking to so many people, I just really realized this is happening more often than we think. And the reason that we don't know about it is because the entire DCF court system is totally done in secrecy. And then if parents speak out, and this makes me so angry, if parents speak out because they're being treated unfairly or they don't agree, they get punished. And they make it harder for them, and they draw it out longer, and they tell them that they can't see their children.
I really believe that the government needs to stay the hell out of people's business. I feel like this is an atrocity. These people have every right to decide whether or not to vaccinate their children.
I can't wrap my head around how they would file an abuse report if someone didn't want to vaccinate their children or made their own medical decisions that didn't, agree with your doctor. Or if they go get a second opinion and the first doctor doesn't like that, they can file an abuse report. And then I found out that there's literally a snitch line, and people can call in and they can, without any due process, without you even knowing, DCF can show up at your house.
And if these people didn't give them permission to concern themselves with your private, federally protected medical information, as far as I'm concerned, you committed crimes against these families.
The laws need to change both at the federal and at the state level. These court proceedings should not be secret, and I think we need to uncover and tell the people what's happening, because I think it could happen to you.
Because most Americans, and I'll blame most Americans, won't stand up and do anything. It's not affecting me yet.
I think it could happen to anybody. If you don't want to vaccinate your children, that might not be the reason that they are filing a report, but in the minds of a very pro-vaccine doctor, you're a bad parent. You're making a bad decision for your child, and then they may go looking for other reasons. And so I think it's being used kind of as not an only reason, but a first reason. Once you have any touch point with DCF, they're in your lives. They could be in your lives for the rest of your life. And the state doesn't own our children. We have to protect parental rights. Parents need to be able to parent how they want, and they need to be able to make medical decisions for their children.
We're all here for solidarity of individual sovereignty, God-given rights under the Constitution of the United States. I'm here in support of Mr. Rivera and his individual health rights and his children's rights.
Department of Children and Families is out of control in Massachusetts. They need to come to their senses and stop prosecuting this kind of case.
The government and DCF and these pediatricians trying to assert their power over their decision to take their children and leave this state.
All of these things don't make sense. And I think it's time that we shed a light on what's happening. I think the courts should not be secret. They can certainly protect the privacy of the minors with pseudonyms and blogging out their faces. We should be able to see. We should be able to bear witness to what's happening. And I think I've heard 10 stories now in the last year. They're all different, but at the end of the day, children were taken because of the medical decisions of the parents, and sometimes never to be seen again.
This is what a tyrannical government does. They don't just say, you know, we're going to go after the adults, because we'll say, you know what, bring it. If we're that outspoken and we stand strong, they go after the kids. They go after our families. So that is how evil they are.
I would like to have